heard you crack open a blue light.
Yo, come on in. You guys are here too?
Goodbye, empty couch. Hello, standing room only. Labatt takes everything to the power of we.
What's up, Bobcats? Welcome to another edition of Bobcat Tracks presented by Labatt Blue. My name is Sam Hyman, as always, joined by co-host Tanaya Stevens.
Hello, I'm back, guys.
This is the February edition of Bobcat Tracks. If you're new to the show, we talk to student athletes and hear about their journeys both within their sport and beyond. We need you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ohio Bobcat Studios. Give us a thumbs up as well on this episode. And you can see a lot of cool content that we put out beyond just Bobcat Tracks on Ohio Bobcat Studios. So check us out. And again, subscribe and give that thumbs up. But that's not the only place, Tanaya, that we're located.
No, it's not, Sam. No, it's not. You can also look us on Apple and Spotify. So make sure you look up Bobcat Tracks and give us a great review, guys. We love to give the content, so keep on reviewing.
So we have 3 guests today. First, swim and dive, Julia Strine. Second guest is Shereef Mitchell, men's basketball. And our third guest is Kate Dennis. Tonight, you were super busy, so weren't able to be on the first 2, but chatted with Kate Dennis. These are going to be some really cool conversations for everybody to check out.
Absolutely. If you want to hear more about these athletes, stick around, listen up. It's great content, I promise you.
All right, here we go. First up, Julia Strine, swim and dive. Julia, welcome to Bobcat Tracks.
Hi, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, let's go. We're super excited to have you on. Wait, forgot. So this is your first ever podcast.
Yeah, this is a really exciting opportunity. I was super stoked when you asked me to be on here.
Yeah, so breaststroke, right?
Yes.
Big breaststroke fan. The entire team. I feel like the depth of this team, some of it is in the breaststroke. You'll have a lot of veterans in the breaststroke. Have you always loved breaststroke?
So it's actually quite a funny story. I started out as more of a backstroker. And if you know me now and you can ask my coaches and my teammates, that is actually probably my weakest area as I've gone to college. But I started swimming breaststroke more once I hit 10, 11, 12, and then I qualified for my first junior Olympics in the 50 breaststroke.
Wow.
And that kind of set me off. And I was like, wow, like I really like this. And then, yeah, just consecutive years after that, I was qualifying in the breaststroke races. So now I'm a breaststroker, and that's what I specialize in.
Unreal. Going all the way back from Shippensburg, Pennsylvania, right?
Yep.
Wow. So what was life like growing up in Shippensburg?
A lot of gas stations, farm fields, small community, but we were close. And I definitely had made a lot of friends within the swimming community. And we all grew up together, swam on club teams surrounding the area, just stuff like that. Yeah.
Do you feel like the sport found you or you found the sport? Was there anything in your family related to swimming, or you just kind of found it naturally?
So my dad growing up swam just like as a 8 and under. I think he finally stepped away from swimming when he was about 12 to pursue basketball. And then my dad had always kind of mentioned it to, I have a younger sister, Jillian, and kind of mentioned to us growing up. And finally one day Jillian cracked and she was like, yeah, Dad, like I'll sign up for the swim team. And Dad's like, Julia, do you want to do it? And I'm like, no. I was like, no. And then finally, after probably a week or 2 of asking, I was like, you know what? If Jillian's going to do it, I want to do it too. You know, because you can't have your younger sister, you know, stepping over you. So Jillian and I joined together. And like I said, I was probably around 8 years old. So she was about 6. And ever since then, we just continued to swim together on the same team all through that. And then she actually swims at the University at Buffalo, which is very ironic because they're in our conference. So we are still swimming together in a way.
Wow. I you know what? I do remember some of this because if people don't know and they need to know, you got to go check out the All Access YouTube series build up for MAC Championships last year, because that's where you did mention this. I do remember this now. So your sister tried swimming first, and then you were like, I gotta get involved in this.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she had even said, she was like, it's fun. And, I grew up playing soccer. That was the first sport I was introduced to. My dad coached my little peewee soccer team. And then, I started swimming when I was 8. And ever since then, it's always been the sport that I've held on to, and it's been my focus. So,
Who's the better swimmer, you or your sister?
It would definitely have to be what event we're swimming. If it's breaststroke, she's got no chance. Love you, but I know she's probably going to listen to this.
Yeah.
But she's a sprint freestyler. So she does the 50, the 100, and the 200, and she's awesome. So, she'd beat me there.
Early on when you were getting into the sport, you talked about 8 years old, finding a passion, finding a love for it. What was like an early moment for you that really resonates from your time, like learning to swim?
I mentioned the Junior Olympics qualification, but shortly after that, I qualified for something called Mid-Atlantic Zones. So I'm from like the Mid-Atlantic region.
Mm-hmm.
And zones is basically a step above Junior Olympics. So I qualified for the Mid-Atlantic Zone team when I was about 12, I think. And that was another like significant moment. And I also qualified in the 200 breaststroke, which I believe 12, I should know this, but I think 12 is when you start swimming like 200s, or I was maybe like 13 and over. I was around that age. So just to like qualify in a harder event and be able to be exposed to like higher level competition, that was definitely a turning point for me where I was like, wow, like this is exciting. Like I love the higher level competition. I love competing. And I just want to keep seeing where it's going to take me.
And it's taken you to Ohio University. Shout out to the Bobcats. We'll get into that in just a moment. But like high school, you went to Shippensburg area high school?
Yep.
That's the name of the high school?
Shippensburg. Yeah. Area
What's the
senior high
mascot?
school. A greyhound.
Okay. So tell us about your high school experience. Were you shy? Were you outgoing? What was that experience like?
I would probably definitely say I was outgoing. I'm a pretty outgoing person. I love to talk. I love, in more of a swimming aspect, I love a team atmosphere. And that's one of my favorite things about high school, and one of my favorite things about OU. is I just love being part of a team and having all the girls to support each other. In high school, I was really fortunate. Like I said, we had an aquatic club within our community. So that's kind of where I started swimming. And then building up through that through high school, it was a range of probably about 2 to 3 years of girls that I was swimming with. So when I was like a freshman, in high school, these girls were juniors. And then there was a sophomore class. So we grew up just swimming together and pushing each other, making each other better until if I can go back, another one of my like favorite moments from high school is my junior year of high school. My other 2 friends, Maddie Osanich, she swims at Bloomsburg. She's a 5th year this year.
Okay.
And then my other friend, McKenna, no longer swims, but she's a ER nurse. She's awesome. And then my sister was a freshman. So that was like our relay. Like that's what we were working for ever since we started when we were like 8, 9, and 10.
That's so cool.
So it's just kind of like a really cool, like, that was when I think back to high school, that's what I think about. Like those girls and like having that team atmosphere and just like working towards, our state championship, which unfortunately that year, and this is why it was so hard, that was COVID. So what had happened was we arrived at our state championship and they were like, the meet's canceled.
Wow.
And we were like, oh, okay.
No.
But they worked it out. Like we still were able to like get our medals and whatever. But it was it was hard like having that. But yeah, that was another one of my favorite, just growing up with those girls, growing up with my sister, swimming with her. And yeah, it just fostered like a really good environment to like grow as a person and everything like that. So
were you like cognizant of times though, like times that you had to feel like you had to hit to ultimately get into a spot where your recruiting the phone was ringing?
Honestly, no. Yeah. Like it honestly, my recruiting experience was a little different because it was in COVID times. Like I did not have an official visit to come to this school. I met with Coach Mason on like hey, like you can come to campus. I can't really talk to you because it's COVID, but everything like that. And then when I would train in high school, my training was nothing compared to what it is now. Like I swam once a day, didn't lift. I would swim maybe every other Saturday, depending on if I wanted to go or if Jillian wanted to go. So kind of like I was very grateful for the opportunity to come here, because I also, looking back, like, and now looking at recruiting, how Mason looks for future athletes on the team, he looks for multiple events. He's looking for multiple event athletes. And like, I'll be honest, I had one really, really solid event. And I didn't really swim a lot of the 200s, because in high school, you don't swim 200s. I could swim a 50 free, but it wasn't really up to the standard of what the MAC conference would need.
Yeah.
So I was just very grateful when I got the opportunity to come here, because it meant that like the coaches saw potential in me. And that was just really exciting, because I was excited to work with new coaches, work with a new team, everything like that.
You mentioned just how different the training is from high school to college. What was your welcome to college swimming moment? Was there a certain training thing that was laid out, or practice where you're like, oh my goodness, we're doing all this right now?
Yeah.
We're doing dry land and we're in the pool stuff?
Yeah. Definitely like just the 20 hours was a shock at first when we did our first week of 20 hours with the, 6 to 8, 3 to 5, or the lift and then the swim in the afternoon. But when I think of like, when you just said that, I'm like thinking like 3 sets just popped into my head. 30 50s long course. The first time I did that, I was like, oh my goodness, I've never it was hard.
Yeah.
It was really hard. So 30 50s long course, 3100s long course, all out off the blocks, best average. That's a winter training set. I've only done it, I think, my freshman and my sophomore year. So we kind of have moved away from that set.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. But that one was really challenging. And then we had like a time 2000 just to try to get like pace times for everyone. And I'm not really a really great freestyle distance swimmer. So that one was always hard for me. And we probably did that like a month or two into me being at school as a freshman. And I was like, oh my goodness, like a 2000, that's the distance of some of my whole workouts when I was in high school. So it was definitely a shock. I was literally just talking to my assistant coach today about this, being like, yeah, like when I used to swim in high school, I didn't really swim. So
well, the for people that don't know, like short course, long course, I mean, you're talking about like sets of 3 of 50 long course.
Yes.
And that is not short course. That is long course. So your mind has to think a little bit differently with your approach in terms of that. What other training moments stand out so far during your time here? You've had a lot to pick from. Any like memorable training moments that you feel like helped you get to the point you are today?
So definitely my breaststroke group. There is 5 of us currently. So it's Edie Sawyer, Annalise Stith, Emily Ellsworth, Cassie DeBetta, and myself.
Shout out.
Yes. Shout out to those girls, because they are literally our rock, like my rock. And we all support each other. And those, myself and the 4 of those girls, like we work so hard. And we have a specialized practice on Tuesday just for breaststroke, but like Emily and Cass and Annalise, they all swim like the IM. So it's like we're still swimming with each other, and Edie too. We still swim with each other throughout the week. But when we get to that breaststroke practice, it's like our time and we really dial in. And that's been something I've been just so grateful for, because in high school, you didn't split up into groups. At least my team didn't. Like y'all did the same practice. And coming here, that was definitely one of the things that I loved, because I was no longer I'm not meant to do 200s freestyle, and I didn't have to.
Right.
It's like the coaches understood, like, hey, you're a breaststroker. Like, let's get you doing some 200 pace breaststrokes. So that was probably one of my favorite and most memorable things about Ohio, is like getting that group together and having us be able to push each other and setting goals for each other and reminding each other each and every day what we're working for. I mean, I'll like look, and all these girls can attest to this, we all do this, is I'll look at them and I'll be like, who's it going to be? Is it going to be us or is it going to be Akron? Is it going to be us or is it going to be Miami? So we're constantly having that competitive nature at practice. And I think that is what makes our group so strong and unstoppable and, you know, ready to take on the conference.
Man, I just got chills. That's crazy. And I mentioned it earlier at the beginning, the breaststroke group. I'm a huge fan. I talked to Edie about a month or two ago, and I just the energy and just so much potential. Cassidy DeBetta, MAC champion.
Yeah.
What have you learned the most from the breaststroke group?
Just combining everyone's different personalities. Because I mean, you've talked to Cassidy, bubbly, upbeat. Emily is one of the like hardest workers I know. Like she puts her head down, she gets it done. Annalise is like attentive and she wants to learn, and she's excited for everything that we get to do together. And then Edie, like we've been together since freshman year, and our freshman year, we were the only two. Like we were the only two breaststrokers on the team that competed until the end of the season. So just, you know, like having that history with her and then adding like new people each and every year, it's just been like really exciting, and it's been great to work with.
That's
all
special.
of them. Yeah.
That's really
so
cool.
I've definitely learned just that we all have each other's backs and that we all are looking out for each other and just trying to push each other to be the best athletes that we can be.
This team, this program, the swim and dive program, you all do so much culture building, not just in the pool, but outside the pool, not even just talking about the dry land training that you all do, but just the retreats. Mm-hmm. I see that you all go on retreats and movies. I think Mason took you all to one movie one time.
The Boys on the Boat.
Okay.
We went to that.
Yeah.
Really good movie.
Okay.
Inspirational.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what has been your favorite like team bonding moment for swim and dive outside of like maybe the training or being in the pool?
I definitely love our retreat trips that we do at the beginning of the year. At my freshman year, it started as just we went canoeing or tubing. We went canoeing, kayaking. And then I think the next year we went canoeing. And then my junior year, we decided to do like an overnight camp. And I loved it. I thought it was so fun. You know, it's longer. It gets us together for an extended period of time. It allowed us to reflect on our goals for the season. Something that we did this year, and the coaches kind of fostered this, and then we took it as seniors and kind of ran with it, was we did these family talks. So we split the team up into, I think, 6 families or 5. I'm not quite sure on the number, but we were given a set of questions each night. So we would have these family talks, and they were like 30, 45 minutes. And it was just like, what are your goals for this season? You know, and it was really nice because I was put in a group with all underclassmen and 3 freshmen. And it was nice to like get to know them on like a more personal level right off the start of the season, and to like understand their goals right off the bat, because then it's like, as a teammate, you know, like why people are here, what they want to accomplish. And I think that has been like the biggest change from my sophomore to my junior and now senior year, is when we started doing those trips, because it just brings everyone closer and it creates like a really strong foundation at the beginning of the season that can carry out.
Huge to know who you're going to battle with in the pool, like your team, when you understand what someone is, not just as a swimmer, like that's so important.
Yeah.
I mean, that is everything and so powerful. It sets the foundation.
Yeah.
And other questions that you share with your teammates, like during those moments?
I mean, I just ask them, I'm like, you know, where are you from?
Yeah.
Like, what do you like to do?
It can be very simple, just to get the ball rolling.
Yeah. And just to like give people stuff to connect with. Like, we have a girl on our team named Juliana, and she's an art major and she makes jewelry. And like, I connected with her on the fact that like, I also make jewelry. Now hers is extravagant and beautiful, and mine are just little like beaded bracelets. But
hey, it's something. That's something.
That's something we can
cool.
connect on.
Yeah.
And just again, like learning everyone's background from training, and I could connect with some of the freshmen coming in. They're like, I'm nervous. Like my team doesn't train like a college team does, and I'm like, it's gonna be okay. Like I was in your shoes 3 years ago, and like I'm a senior now, and it's gonna be okay. And I'm gonna support you. The girl sitting to the right of you, to the left of you, is gonna support you. The whole team's behind you. So just again, like fostering that sense of security and letting those girls know right off the bat that like we're a team and we're here for each other.
Powerful. That's so important. So we'll get to some rapid fire questions in just a moment, but we'll transition now to just like what's your major is, and I got to make sure I say it correctly. Biological sciences pre-professional. That is your major.
Yes.
You knew you wanted to do this as soon as you came here, or was this like something you found?
So I'd always loved science, like growing up. My mom was a 6th grade science teacher. We did the whole monarch butterfly, caterpillar, life cycle. And I liked science. And I was like, like, I think it would be really cool to help people. And I think it'd be really cool to be a doctor. So actually this is an elaborate story, but I'll try to keep it short. But basically, coming into my freshman semester at OU, I was out boating one day and there was an accident on the boat. What had happened was a young boy had fell off the front of the boat, cut up by the propeller, and my first instinct was to help. So I actually jumped in the water from the bank I was sitting on and swam to their boat. Jumped on the boat because I was lifeguard certified at the time. So I was like, worst comes to worst, I'm CPR certified. I can provide help. And just in that instance, which the boy, he was okay, we got EMS to us, but just like my ability to stay calm and to react, I was like, wow, like that seems like something I'd want to continue to pursue. And then just coming to OU, knowing they have the med school here and they have a really established science department. So I was just really excited to get to have that opportunity to learn here and then potentially go to OU HCOM.
Wow, that is really cool. I mean, I love hearing those early vivid moments, like that moment where you saw the boy fell off the boat.
Yeah, he fell off the front and the boat went over
him. And you had just you had the initial reaction that you could help.
Yeah.
and play a role. And now you are trying to get into med school.
Yes.
Right.
Yep. So I'm currently in the application cycle, which is very long. But I'm still hopeful that, I've put myself out there the best way that I can. I'm applied to a school in Maryland. It's called Meritus College or School of Osteopathic Medicine, and then OU HCOM. So still waiting to hear from both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's unpack the subject matter of biological sciences pre-professional just a little bit.
Yeah.
I got some questions submitted from some of one of your former teammates.
Yes.
Shout out to Meg.
Oh, Meg. I love Meg.
She something. Well, all right, here we go. We're going to start with this. This is can you name, and I want to make sure I'm pronouncing this right. Can you name all 12 cranial nerves?
Oh, yeah, I think I can.
Did I say that right?
Yeah, cranial nerves. So we got cranial nerve 1, which is olfactory. Then we have optic. Then we have trochlear. Then we have, ocular motor is cranial nerve number 3. Trochlear is number 4, trigeminal number 5, but there are 3 branches of that. 6 is abducens, 7 is facial, 8 is vestibular cochlear, 9 is glossopharyngeal, I think, 10 is vagus, 11 accessory, 12 hypoglossal.
Wow, let's go. That is unreal.
Shout out to Professor Klein in human anatomy because he has drilled that into my brain.
Yeah. Wow, that is speechless. How about can you tell us about the blood flow through the heart?
Ooh, okay. So we're going to have some deoxygenated blood that's going to go through the superior vena cava, and then we're going to go into the right atrium through the tricuspid valve, right ventricle, then through the pulmonic valve, then the pulmonary trunk to the lungs, back through the pulmonary vein, dumps into the left atrium. Well, the blood's now oxygenated because we went to the lungs. Dumps through the left atrium, mitral valve, left ventricle, aortic valve to the aorta. And then there's like 18 different ways you can go throughout the body.
That is amazing. You have been locked in all throughout your time at OU in the library.
Yes. Yeah. 3rd floor, 7th floor, favorite spots.
That is so cool. So what is like, you're able to just throw all that information out there on the fly. Is there something that you have learned through your studies with this particular major biological sciences pre-professional? Is there something that you've studied that's like super fascinating, something that you learned that's like really worth sharing, that interesting you?
I love, there's 2 things. The one is more broad, but I love just like the endocrine system, just the way that hormones affect your body. It impacts everything, from sleep to wake cycles, energy levels, blood regulation, just everything it's so interconnected, and I love that. And then the second thing was the brachial plexus, and that's because I have thoracic outlet syndrome, which affects my brachial plexus. So
explain what is that?
So thoracic outlet is basically, it's an area in your body, and it's like your clavicle, your scalenes, like this area essentially.
Okay.
And mine just gets super compressed because of all the swimming I do. And sometimes people just anatomically just don't have enough space. So your brachial plexus is a combination of nerves that innervate your arm and through your neck. And mine just gets crushed and squeezed. And I'll lose like feeling in my fingers, in my arm sometimes. I was really fortunate. I actually just got some injections done at OSU, some Botox injections that help relax that muscle. So I'm no longer experiencing quite the pain that I was. But just like learning about that, like I remember going into the cadaver lab and actually being able to like hold the combination of nerves. And I was like,
wow,
it's fascinating when like I know what's going on in my body, and then to actually see it and to actually be able to process it and connect those dots. That's really awesome. So I love that.
That is so cool. And the 12 cranial nerves, like I don't even know where to begin with, like how to unpack all the things that you listed out. But like, if I'm feeling, let's say I'm feeling stressed.
Yeah.
Like you can potentially identify why or how based on asking me questions, or
probably eventually. I don't know how much I know right now. But if you were having like, there's this like eye condition where if you're like trying to look forward but one of your eyes drifts off to the right, then that's an issue with one of your ocular motor eye muscles. So that could be like your abducens cranial nerve or your trochlear cranial nerve. So like surface level stuff, but that's why that's why it's so fascinating to me. And that's why I'm like so excited to like continue to learn more in medical school, because just like that surface level, I'm just like, that's not enough. Like I want to know more. So
you're passionate about it. I can feel it. And you're to go out there and achieve something, you got to be passionate about it. You got to be willing to not just want to memorize something. Like you have to understand it's got to be constantly going through your mind and thinking about it. Where has this, like your major, shown up or helped you the most as a swimmer?
Oh, definitely. It's definitely helped me with kind of time management and just like almost like working towards your goals. And I think that swimming has also just helped me in school, like just as much, because, you know, like the rigors of being a student athlete is we're practicing constantly. We're going to rehab, or we're showing up to practice 30 minutes early to do exercises, and just like helping me prioritize my time with studying. And, you know, I'm not really a big procrastinator because I can't, and just stuff like that. And then in my studies, just, you know, staying motivated, staying diligent, reminding myself that like I'm working towards a goal, just like I would work towards a goal in the pool. Like you want to go a certain time, you got to show up at practice every day. You want to get a certain grade, you got to study the material, you got to stay diligent. So yeah, I'd say that it's just, you know, helped me stay focused on my goals.
Love that. Before we get into the quick off the tracks rapid fire questions, you are a senior. This
Yeah.
is it. Like this is the final go round, which is crazy to think about. You talked about how you came in like around COVID times. So when you think about your entire career at OU, how do you want people to remember you when you leave here? Like what type of moment, how do you want people to remember you when you leave OU?
I just, if I could be like, just summarize, I just want people to remember me as someone who like loved this team, loved the girls on the team, someone who was always your biggest fan, always your biggest cheerleader. And I really try to do that day in and day out and just remind no matter who it is, like, hey, you're doing a great job. Like, hey, like nice swim. Hey, like, I'm really proud of you for hitting that PR, getting that cut time, getting that diving qualification. Like I just want people to remember how much I love the team and how much I just enjoyed my time here. Like it seriously has been the best 4 years of my life. And people do ask me, they're like, well, isn't it a lot? Like, isn't it crazy how much you have to work, go to practice, go to school? And it's like, yeah, but I love it. Like I seriously would not change this experience for anything in the world. It's helped me grow so much as a person, as an athlete, as a student. Like I've made great strides as a student, honestly, because I didn't study in high school, didn't have to. And then coming here and, being exposed to much harder courses, I had to learn and adapt and, develop into the student I am today. So yeah.
Amazing. That is powerful. But you still have time.
Still have some time. If I can shout out our meet on tomorrow, and I don't know if you're going to do that, but we have our senior meet, and it is a 2-day meet, and session 1 is tomorrow at 6 p.m., and then session 2 is 11 a.m. on Saturday.
Yeah. Shout out to Swim and Dive. We drop these episodes monthly.
Oh, okay.
This is the February episode, but we are going to plug that still. I promise you, we're going to plug that. And MAC championships as well. You were fourth in the 200 breaststroke.
Yes.
At MAX. 2:14:38, right?
Yes.
At MAX, and then 200 IM 2:03:38 at MAX. Are those your two like go-to events, or?
I'd say probably I had the 100 breast in there too. I think I was like 101 high. I think I was 6th. But those are definitely my 3. The 2 IM I've kind of picked up more in college. Like I did not swim the 2 IM in high school at all. Like I was actually like a 2:14. So I've dropped like over 10 seconds in that event. So I've learned to love it. But yeah, I'd say the 2 breast is probably my primary favorite event. It's a grueling event. So yeah.
Now the breaststroke tell me like what's the proper thing? Because I did this wrong when I was trying to do the breaststroke. I got into the water and was like just trying to get some cross training in a couple of times, and I would just like go like this.
Yeah.
Whoops. I just would go like this. So what's the proper like movement there?
So I would say now some people like the cool thing about breaststroke is everyone's breaststroke is like unique in a way. Like I don't swim the same as Edie. Edie doesn't swim the same as Emily. But like what I primarily think about is like, arms out, but you gotta anchor those. You gotta anchor here so you can grab all that water. And then when you anchor, you're going to pull in, and then you're here and you want to shoot out. But when you shoot out, you got to get that head down. So then you're in a perfect body line gliding through the water.
And wow, interesting. That took a while to get down that motion.
Yeah. I mean, I still make minor changes to my stroke even now in college, just any way to like get the timing better. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Off the tracks, just a couple of rapid fire questions for you. Starting off with one that Meg submitted. Shout out to Meg for just bringing some of these unique questions in here. If you could be any sea creature, what sea creature would you be?
Oh, a dolphin. 100%. Yeah.
Enough said. What song is on repeat right now for you?
Ooh. Probably When We Were Young by The Killers.
That's a That's a throwback and a really
Yeah.
good one. Really good one. Is that also your go-to karaoke song, or do you have a go-to karaoke song?
I gotta think. There's this one song. Oh, if I was to ever sing karaoke, Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi. I just think that would be so fun. And like everyone knows it too.
Yeah.
So then you get the crowd involved.
Exactly. The
everything
energy.
like that.
The energy's crazy. Okay, you can race anybody. Doesn't have to be a swimmer. Could be just like a fun race. In the 200 breaststroke, who would you pick? Could be a celebrity, could be anybody.
Ooh. I don't know. I think I'd pick my dad because he has this, like, we raced one time in like the Mediterranean Sea on the cruise and he beat me and he has not let me live that down. So it's like, I need to bring the hammer and,
Revenge.
take my throne.
Revenge. Yes, indeed. Favorite meal?
Ooh, like chicken parm.
Okay, that's good. Favorite pizza topping?
Oh, peppers, green, red, or yellow.
All right. Colorful there. You can have dinner with one celebrity.
Ooh.
Dead or alive, one celebrity. Who would you have dinner with?
Probably Rainn Wilson, who plays Dwight on The Office. I just think it would be fun.
That would be funny. Okay, if you could have one superpower, what superpower would you have?
Ooh. Definitely like probably flying. I know that that's really basic, but it's so convenient. Just
very convenient.
Fly.
Very convenient. And last but not least, let me get the phone out. Last but not least, because I want to make sure I explain how many I have. I have 23 unread text messages. So how many unread text messages do you have on your phone?
My phone's over there. I could probably look on my watch.
If you had to guess.
Oh, like it's bad. Probably like 100.
Okay.
Or more. Yeah.
There's a wide range of reasons, and just I keep going back to CVS. I get all these text messages from like CVS or like things that I've subscribed to that like I thought it was just an email, but it's also a text message. So it's super annoying. But all right, Julia, thanks for coming on Bobcat Tracks presented by Labatt Blue. Really appreciate your time. Anything else you would like to share before we get you on your busy schedule here?
No, I just wanted to thank you for having me on here. It's been super fun, and go Bobcats.
Go Bobcats. Reef, what's up?
What's up, Sam? How are you, man?
Doing well. Thanks for coming on Bobcat Tracks.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it a lot.
I gotta know, what is refence?
So refence was kind of something that happened. It started up when I was back at Creighton. And it was like kind of like started my freshman year. When my teammates, they see me step on the court and they see me play defense, and like coach would like really throw me in there for like defense only. And so, I was a really good defender when I was out there playing. And ever since then, they would call me refence. And at first when I was there, I didn't really like it as much. But then like when it kind of came here, LT, Coach Thornton started saying it. And so it's really like picked up on me. It's really stuck with me, and I like it, and I like to take pride in it for sure.
You brought refence to OU. Were you telling everybody this is what it is?
Yeah, for sure, sure. That's how I am. That's who I am.
Yeah, I'm excited to unpack your journey, Shereef. You are in your second season at Ohio with the Bobcats from Omaha, Nebraska. A lot of people, at least when I hear Omaha, I think College World Series baseball, but like. There's some hoopers in Omaha, including yourself. Tell us what it was like growing up in Omaha.
Yeah, Omaha, like you said, it's a really city that's not talked about a lot. Grew up in the North Omaha area. A pretty rugged area, tough, challenging area. Growing up, but thankfully through the grace of God, He helped me find a way with the great parents and brothers I had. Just growing up, my dad placed the ball in my hand, and he always just, every day told me that if I wanted to be who I wanted to be, then, I had to take pride in this every day, and that I would have to, put a lot of work into it. And so, since the day he put a basketball in my hands, all I knew was that I wanted to play basketball every single day, and literally up until kind of high school is when I tried to take basketball to a whole new level, to a whole new step. That's when things got serious. Um, and at first, starting off in like high school, it was weird because I was on JV. Start off, I didn't even play varsity. Um, you
As a
know,
freshman,
as a freshman, yeah,
man.
and I took that to heart because I thought I should have been on varsity. And it's funny because my older brother still makes fun of me about it, and so it was something challenging within itself. But clawing my way up to varsity from my freshman year, I feel like that was like when I knew that I could probably be something in basketball, like, take it to a whole new level. And then my confidence just, came along from each year to year to year. And, you know, when I got to my senior year of high school, that's when, it really got real. And that's when I like was set on initially just I wanted to go to Creighton, be stuck with family, be close to family, be close to home, and I would literally do whatever it took to get there. And so, at a point in time during high school, I was averaging like over like 30 some points per game. And then that's when they finally reached out and said that if I went to prep school, I would have a good chance of getting an offer from there and possibly going there. And so, after high school was over with, was to win Gatorade Player of the Year, had a whole nother summer of AAU basketball, and that's when finally picked up that Creighton offer. And then a week later, I committed, and then, but before going to Creighton, started my journey at Sunrise Christian Academy.
That's right.
At the post grad school. Elijah Elliott, my boy Elijah, he know about it, so shout out to him. But yeah, I went to Sunrise, and it got
Learned a lot.
learned a
Man,
lot.
we gotta come on now. Come on. I should have done that in the beginning. What the heck did they have you on junior varsity for? You were on JV as a freshman.
Oh, man.
How many years were you on JV in high school?
So I was there my whole freshman year.
Okay. Why do you think you were there? Did you feel like you were good enough to be on varsity?
Oh, I thought I was good enough to be a starter on varsity, but I think it was just my height, my frame. I was like 5'9", I'd have been about 140 maybe. It was a stick, so they probably just thought I couldn't bang down there with the seniors and stuff like that, which is understandable. But I had the heart, so I just thought that I belonged up there. And throughout season, like I said, I got to be on varsity. Later during the season, I got to start. And so it was just took a lot of adversity, but how to respond to that adversity was the biggest thing for me.
You mentioned heart. You said you had the heart. Where did you get the heart from?
Just the North Omaha, that North Omaha in me. A lot of us come from North Omaha. We take a lot of pride in it. And just coming from where I came from, you just have to kind of find a way out, claw your way out. And, that's how like I play kind of in basketball. You're just trying to find a way to win, find a way to make a play, to help the team. And, that's something that stuck with me, as I grew up.
Wow. That's powerful. Anything else that you've learned from your upbringing, from your parents, that have helped you become the person you are today?
One thing my parents always instilled in me is keep God first, do everything. Through the highest of the highs in your life and through the lowest of the lows, you just gotta know that the Lord is with you and He's gonna guide you through the whole way. And that's something that I always try to, take with me as I've been throughout my journey of basketball, because I had my highs in high school, had my lows in college, also had my highs in college. So you just gotta be even keel with it, be level headed, and never just think too much of it. And that's something that they always instilled in me. And one thing my mom is always good about is just thinking of stuff off the court, and not being too consumed with basketball, because at some point in your life, the ball stop bouncing, and so having something outside of it is something that she prides on, and so I try to take pride in that too. That not having basketball be the only thing that's my identity.
And it certainly currently is not the only thing that's your identity. We'll talk about your community impact in just a second, but you also played AAU with Jalen Hunter, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir.
When's the first time you saw Jalen Hunter?
That's funny. So I first saw Jalen. We played in high school, and it was my sophomore year. He went to Lincoln High, and that's when his dad was at the coach assistant at Nebraska, and I saw him at Lincoln High. And at first, like, people really didn't know about Jalen too much in the Nebraska, maybe Omaha area. But then when he transferred from Lincoln High to Creighton Prep, which is actually a rival of my school, it was a big deal around Omaha. And I never like really knew why. But we like later that summer we played against him when he transferred to Creighton Prep. And and he was balling, like, it looked like for sure they were the clear front runners for state. And we matched up against them, and like that's our rival already, so it was already some tension there. And then like the game starts, and like I wasn't thinking too much of it, but then he starts trash talking a little bit. So I'm like, all right, bet, like
to you,
yeah, to
trash,
me,
because
yeah.
you're guarding him.
Like we were on each other. So he started trash talking a little bit. So I'm like, okay, bet. Then, the game goes out, and, we're both playing really well. And, but I get the last laugh. We won. I had a good game and we won. So, that's where it all started from there. And then later that year, he actually wasn't eligible since he transferred, and we played them again. And so I know he was kind of mad that he probably couldn't play against me that time. And so the next time we didn't play against, so that was like actually the last time we played against each other. And then after that game, we became AAU teammates. And so from there on out, that's our friendship.
So it was before AAU. That's insane. And when you were he went on to obviously play at Ohio, and now playing professionally, Jalen Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you were at Creighton,
Mm-hmm.
2021 NCAA tournament. This is in Indiana. I can't remember the specific arena. Butler. Okay, Hinkle Fieldhouse.
Yep.
Hinkle Fieldhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio versus Creighton. And you told me a little bit about this before a couple weeks ago, but your matchup was Jason Preston.
Oh yeah. Jason was the main focal point of that scouting report. And, like I told you, like my job was to guard the best players, to guard the best guards. And so, I was taking that assignment, and he got me in quick foul trouble early, frustrated me a lot. But, just like playing against him, it showed like how really talented he was, how next level he was, in college. And, just playing against him and, now seeing him kind of like, from a perspective of being an Ohio Bobcat is kind of crazy, honestly.
Here you are in year two, as I mentioned earlier, at Ohio University. And you're here for the back half of your college basketball career. When you think about what Ohio University has done for you, this men's basketball program, what resonates with you the most about what this program has done for you?
Man, I really don't even know where to start, man. Like I tell, LT and Bowles all the time, like, I feel like they saved my career in a sense where, I didn't know what it looked like for me at Creighton after basketball, because I really just wanted to stay there close to home, but I knew I had to make a business decision. I had to leave from there, going from Omaha to Ohio, it's a big risk. It's far away from home. And outside of going to Sunrise and then coming back to Omaha, I've never really been that far away from home. And so, like I said, one word to say it all, describe it, is just being blessed. They really, like I said, they helped me out a lot. I feel like I still learn so much from them on the court, being kind of in a bigger role, in a leadership role that they put me in, I just could never imagine this or see this like 3 years ago. And so, just having them having the trust in me is so much. It means the world to me. And, I feel like I owe them a lot, and, they've just done so much for me, and I'm just super appreciative for it.
Your work ethic is off the charts. I hear that from everybody I talk to. Lamar Thornton has you going through the 10-minute shooting shooting drill that we talked about, and that was something while you were battling lower body injury. It
Mhm.
really helped you putting that work in. What's that like putting the work in? Like,
Uh,
do you ever get tired?
oh yeah, you definitely.
And what do you say to yourself in those moments?
Yeah, just definitely. You have your moments throughout season. It's a long season, so it's easy to get burnt out or tired. But I never try to feel it as that because at the end of the day, you know, it's super awesome to play basketball and do it at this level and kind of do it as your job in a sense. So I always try to be grateful for every day that I get to play. But it can be hard, when you have a 2-hour practice ahead and, you need to get a workout in. You feel like you need to get a workout in because, you want to improve on the court and in the game.
Right.
You don't want to take that step back. You don't want to be left behind. And so, just stacking days is what me and LT always says. He does a good job of you not putting too much. Some days we go heavy, some days we go light, some days we go moderate. And he does a great job of changing that up. But just telling yourself that, one, like I said, being grateful, but two, I got a group of guys out there who need me, who want to see me succeed. I got a coaching staff who depended on me, put all their trust and faith in me. I want to play for them. I want to help them out, because I know they have dreams and aspirations as well. And I know I can kind of control that with how I play and what I do. And so, I always think of those guys. And, I think of my family and just think of everything and everybody that's done and supported me to wake up every day, get up every day, do what I got to do to get better at the game that I love.
Amazing stuff. All right, going into a little bit about kind of who you are off the court as a person. We talked before we started recording this. Your mom is a social worker right now and does a lot of great work there. But you also make an impact in the community as well. I believe you one of the summers a couple of years ago you were involved in a nonprofit. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, so actually to graduate from Creighton, I had to do a practicum through my social work major. So I had to work for a nonprofit organization in North Omaha. It was called Heart Ministry Center. It was basically a nonprofit organization that did a food and clothes drive. They did like work placement for like people who needed jobs or like people who were incarcerated that's looking for jobs. And they did a whole bunch of other things like healthcare and dental care. And so they really opened my eyes to the real world, what the real world is like, what people go through every single day in their lives. It was a very humbling experience, and it was like a real job where I worked a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday for like 2.5, 3 months, and so it was a real life experience that I'm grateful that I saw it. Very humbling because like I said, I always complain about what I got going on, but people go through so much worse
Yeah.
in life, and you always got to remember that. And some people would love to be in the position I am, so just remembering that, and trying to help those people out, figure their way out in life. They probably don't got a guide or that support system that some of us have. So just trying to be there for them and making sure that they feel heard and needed. It was like what I took most from it.
Really important. And it's important to not have that tunnel vision all the time where it's like, all right, my situation, it has to be perfect. I have to be, doing all these things in order to be happy. Like think about other people. You're doing that with what you did with that. Is that something that you want to continue from like off the court, like keep doing? And if so, like what are some things you've thought about in that area with community?
1,000%. Like I said, my mom always did a good job of telling me what life will be like outside of basketball and what can look like. So always just having that perspective. And like I talked about to a couple of people, like I would love to open up a nonprofit organization someday in my life. You know, whenever I have the time, the funds, the donors, whenever that stuff comes up, then we could talk. That could be talked about. But that's my end goal
Mhm.
with everything. Like I said, just want to give back to the community, the North Omaha community. I've done so much for me, or even like the Athens community. You know what I mean? Athens is a special place to me. It's like a second home to me, and it means the world to me. And if I could do anything, if I'm in a position where I could do something to help the community out and help the people out, that's something that I would love to do. and that's important to me. So that would be like something I'll look forward to. In
Yeah.
the next chapter.
And even if the ball keeps bouncing longer than maybe you think, and that pro career hits,
Yes, sir.
you can still do stuff off the court.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That is big.
Mm-hmm.
Powerful.
Yes, sir.
So now we'll get into some rapid fire. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes,
some off the tracks.
Okay.
Here. Bobcat tracks, by the way. This is
Okay.
Bobcat tracks presented by Labatt Blue, and we're going off the tracks. And here we go. So what song is on repeat right now, Shereef?
Ooh, that's a good question. What song is on repeat? The song that I've been having on repeat lately is "What Would I Do" by Strawberry Guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a new song? Should I be on this?
It's not. I don't know if it's a new song really. It's just something that I've been like listening to. I've been trying to kind of get out of the hip hop, rap, R&B genre, trying to switch it up a little bit. So that's
I'm all over the place.
Yeah. That's how I'm kind of am. Too.
I got a playlist where it's labeled various vibes because I need it all. I need everything.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm trying to switch it up. So like that's the main song I've been playing, and it's kind of like alternative, chill.
I like it.
Cool vibes. So,
yeah. Is that the same song that would be your go-to karaoke song, or would you have to pick another one?
No, my go-to karaoke song. Ooh. Man, that's a good question.
Yeah, it is.
If I had to pick a song for karaoke, I'll probably have to pick "Show Me a Good Time" by Drake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever done karaoke in front of an audience before?
No.
Okay.
No. I'll be too scared. Man. I'll be too scared.
All right. So 1-on-1, we're talking ball. 1-on-1 against anybody. Doesn't have to be a basketball player. Who would you want to play 1-on-1 against?
If I had to pick somebody to play 1-on-1 against, it's funny I'm gonna say this, but probably be Jalen.
We got to set that up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure when he comes back, we'll play tons of 1-on-1. But I love playing 1-on-1 against him. It gets very competitive. We talk a lot to each other. And I think it's just funny sometimes how we can get so competitive, and then like right after it's just all love.
It's all love.
So yeah, that's definitely somebody who I want to play 1-on-1.
You had brought up how he talked a little bit of trash when y'all went at it in high school. Were you talking back, or were you?
For sure.
Oh, you were.
For sure.
Okay.
I couldn't let him talk.
Couldn't.
Crazy.
Yeah.
No.
All right. All time, you can pick your starting 5.
Oh,
basketball, NBA.
Okay. Bet.
Who are we picking?
At the 1, I'm gonna go LeBron. At my 2, I'm gonna go Kobe. At my 3, this way get tough. Cause I don't know if I want to have Kobe and MJ, but I'm gonna just say MJ. I'm gonna have MJ at my 3. I'm KD at my 4. At my 5, I might have to go Shaq.
I was literally thinking Shaq.
Yeah. But I feel like I'm disrespecting Tim Duncan in a sense because he's a great 4-man, and I can move KD up to that 3, but I'd rather put MJ and KD at my 3-4. So.
It's tough. It's really tough.
Yeah.
I mean, Tim Duncan, Mr. Fundamental.
Yeah.
Mr. Fundamental. I mean, insane. Shaq, Diesel, hard to go. Hard to.
Exactly. You can't really go against that. So yeah.
Who's your GOAT?
LeBron.
Okay. You started with LeBron, so I figured.
Yeah, LeBron's my GOAT, but people have, like, a bunch of my teammates get on me when I say Kobe at 2 and MJ at 3, but that's just me.
From just, like, being able to play?
Like, just be able to, like, from, like, a GOAT standpoint.
Like,
if I had to pick, like, my top 3, it'd go LeBron, Kobe, MJ.
I can get on board with that.
I feel like a lot of people don't. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I hear that a lot. Whenever I get my hair cut, I always hear that. That's a typical barbershop type of question. Just keeps the dialogue going. Who's your GOAT in any sport?
Yeah.
Male or female, I always hear that.
Yeah.
All right, just a couple more. Favorite meal?
Ooh, I gotta go with a good soul food meal. So it'll probably be some fried chicken in there with some yams, mac and cheese, and collard greens. That's my go-to right there. That's my
You're cooking that?
Oof,
Making that? Or
no,
you
that's
need
my,
some?
my mom making that. My mom making that. I'm not making that.
Shout out to mom.
Shout out to mom. She making all that. Yeah. No, I can't make. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet.
All right. How many? I got my phone right here. Yours is right there.
Mhm.
How many unread text messages do you have on your phone?
Oof. Let's look. I got 197.
It's okay, man. I've been up there. I've been way up there, and a lot of it is it's nothing personal. It literally
Yeah,
has to do with it's either things that I've subscribed to that just I think I'm subscribed
Yeah.
to them on email,
Yeah.
and it's also
Mhm.
somehow I get it through my phone.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, I would say most of mine is probably spam text or something like that. Probably a couple of group texts that I didn't tap into, but I don't think they're too important. And if they are, like I said, it's nothing personal.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it just happens.
Awesome. Well, Reef, I know you got a busy schedule here and gotta get to practice. But last question to leave the audience. When your time is up at OU and you move on, how do you want people to remember you?
I want them to remember me as someone, who played hard every single game, did everything to just try to bring a winning culture to this culture, help Coach Bowles, make it to the NCAA tournament, help the staff out, and, just, try to leave my impact on the community. Hope that, if you watched me, hope that, you saw someone who's working hard, play for their teammates and play for others, you know what I mean? And so that's one thing that if I had to leave out, that's what I want to leave out on for sure.
Shereef Mitchell, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for your time. Really appreciate it.
Yes, sir, Sam. Thank you. Appreciate you a lot.
Kate Dennis, welcome to Bobcat Tracks.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. I'm so excited to be here.
It gets everybody every single time.
Love
Do you love
it?
it? Do you love
Yes,
it? Good.
I do love that.
Yeah. Let's go back to the beginning because your time at OU is coming to an end. So we want to start from the beginning,
Yes.
even before OU. Tell us where you grew up and what got you into the sport of basketball.
Yeah, so I grew up in Rockford, Illinois, which is about an hour and a half outside of Chicago. When I tell people where I'm from, not everybody knows, of course, where Rockford is. So.
I've actually been to Rockford.
Have you really?
Yeah,
I have
randomly.
not.
It was a baseball game,
Yes.
the Rockford Rivets, but I don't even know if that
Are they
exists
still there?
anymore.
They are still there. Yes. They've changed names a few times, but they are still there. But normally I tell people I'm from closer to like the Wisconsin state line because I'm about like a half hour, 20 minutes from there. So right by the Wisconsin state line. What was the
How you got into basketball? Did you find it on your own?
No, actually. So growing up, I was a very tall kid. I think that when you are extremely tall, when you are growing up, there's a lot of things that people ask you. And it's normally, do you play volleyball or do you play basketball?
Yeah.
And so that was something that a lot of people asked me. And of course I was like telling my parents, I was like, oh, like I should probably try one of them. And my dad played basketball in high school and growing up, and he really enjoyed it. So it was something that we could kind of bond over. And so he really got me into it, and kind of the rest is history, honestly.
Do you remember like a game that you played that you're like, I really love playing basketball?
Honestly, yes. The first thing that comes to mind is probably in 5th grade. I went to Brookview Elementary School, and our team, I went to, I guess, like a public-ish elementary school. Like a lot of kids would come and funnel into these schools. And we played Kinnikinnick in our like championship game for whatever the elementary school league's name was. And they had gone like undefeated the entire season. And we, had some losses and whatnot. And we were very nervous because we were like, oh my gosh, they're so good or whatever. And we ended up beating them. And whenever now like growing up and whenever I think of an example of like a time that I overcome something, that I was able to overcome something, that's kind of what I think of, like I went into that like, oh my gosh, I'm nervous. I don't know how this is going to go. And then like we had then ended up winning. So that was a really exciting time. I was able to win with my friends, and that was really great. So I remember that after that game, I was really like, I love this. This is something that I want to do for an extended period of time. And yeah.
That's awesome. That's really
Yes.
cool.
Yeah.
What was it like going to, what was the name of your high school?
Guilford High School.
Guilford High School.
Mhm.
So did you have like any other sports that you did in high school or just
Yes.
basketball?
No, so I played tennis in high school.
Okay.
Right. That was something that kind of happened, not unusually, but it wasn't something that I had planned on doing. Basketball was really something that I had focused on for a long time. And actually in my health class, my freshman year, the teacher told me that I could get an easy A in the class if I joined the tennis team. And I was like,
Heck yeah.
I would
Yes.
try that. And so,
Jinx.
I was like, sure, it sounds like fun. All the girls seemed very nice. The outfits were cute.
Mhm.
I was like, perfect. Let's try something new. And it was, outside of the time that I was playing basketball, because it was a fall sport or whatever it was.
Mhm.
So I was like, yeah, of course, like let's try it. And I really enjoyed it. It was really fun. So I played it freshman through junior year and I loved it. It was a great time.
What type of kid were you growing up?
Growing up, I was an extremely outgoing kid. When my mom talks about me as a baby and a little kiddo, both my parents, honestly, they just always tell me that I was the kid that was smiling at everyone.
So it
And-
hasn't changed.
No, it has not changed. And that's something that I was also going to mention. It's kind of like my tagline on whatever, my LinkedIn and my social media stuff. Like, if you can't find me, I'm the one smiling. I feel like I've always been that way. I always wanted to have conversations with people. I always wanted to make friends,
Yeah.
no matter who it was. And my mom said like she'd put me in the cart at the grocery store and I would be trying to talk to everybody that was coming past us. And, I always wanted to make friends. So I think not a lot has changed. But no, I was absolutely outgoing. I've always enjoyed, interactions with people and getting to know people.
I
That's
love
what I
that.
was saying. I watched the recent game and I was like, you were in the huddle talking to the girls
Yeah.
and you were like, being a leader, but then you somehow still were smiling. I'm like, they're down a couple points, but she's still encouraging with a smile. So that's really good.
Body language is everything. And
Absolutely.
like a smile, I need to smile more, I think.
Sam, you do smile.
I mean, I do, but like, especially in moments where I'm like, it's a grind, or you're going, just honestly smiling changes your mental state in
Yeah.
that moment. Like it takes energy to smile.
Yes.
I like your tagline
You know what I mean?
though. If you can't
Yes.
find me, I'm the one smiling.
Mhm.
That's really good.
Yes, I think something that I was thinking about the other day actually, when I don't know what really like brought it on, but I
Mhm.
was smiling at somebody and it was interesting to me how people's faces like soften
Mhm.
when you like approach somebody with a smile. It's almost like a breath of fresh air in a way, like especially like in the sports world sometimes
Mhm.
like people are very intense, people are very emotional, and just like approaching somebody with a smile and a kind face, like you would be surprised
Yeah.
as to just how you can see somebody relax or like how their face changes, their
Yeah.
body language changes when you come up to them and like approach them.
Whether no matter how well you know the person
Exactly.
too, like it could be just I know of you, or
Absolutely.
it's someone I've never seen before,
Mhm.
and you just smile. It does create that sense of just kind of,
Yeah.
all right, you're a human being, I'm a human being,
Exactly.
we're in this
We're all
together.
humans at the
Yeah,
end of the day.
we're in this together. So
Mhm.
so I love that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Never change.
Thank you. Yes. Don't plan on it.
Going into like the end of your high school journey and
Mhm.
recruiting process to come to Ohio University,
Mhm.
like did you like when you started playing basketball in high school, were you like, I want to go play college basketball, or did it just kind of happen?
I think that in 4th, 5th grade, I had come to my dad and really told him that I was interested in taking it to the next level. I wanted to play in college. And so I had then worked from then on out that I wanted to play college basketball. So yeah, high school, it was an absolute grind. It was intense, and not everybody understands what you're trying to do. Because I think it's just one of those times where a lot of people are trying to find themselves and figure out what they would like to do. And so you kind of have to be okay with not being understood by everyone.
Mm.
But no, I did know from a pretty early age that I wanted to play college basketball.
And the process on deciding Ohio, I know a lot of athletes, we talk to them, their process is different on why they chose Ohio. Why Ohio for you?
Yeah. So when I visited Ohio for the first time, I visited in 2019. I came to homecoming right before COVID hit, which was a great blessing. I remember coming with my dad and my AAU coach at the time, and it was honestly so amazing. Homecoming was nuts.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect, but honestly, it blew my expectations out of the water. The first memory that I really have was coming and seeing the band at the football game. I absolutely love them.
Were you like, I want to be a part of the band?
Are you
was
talking about
like,
the band or the
yes.
alumni band?
Oh my gosh, both of
The
them.
Marching 110 band.
But
like,
Is that
the
what we're talking?
alumni go on the band too.
No.
Like,
Wow.
yeah.
It was really like, it was one of those moments where I was like, do I want to play basketball or do I want to be on the band? You know what I mean? I'm kidding. But I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Everybody that I met was so kind. We went as the recruiting day goes, because it's a visit, you go and you meet all these people. And that was really great. Everybody that I had met was really amazing. And after that trip, everybody that I talked to about Ohio, I felt like everywhere I had went, if you had something on Ohio, somebody was saying something to you. And not only were they saying something to you, they were telling you about their great experience that they had at the university, which was something that was incredible. And I thought said a lot because I'm not kidding. I did not run into one person that had a bad thing to say about OU.
I hear that all the time about the stories where you're traveling somewhere and you're wearing
Yes.
Ohio gear and you'll get a response and you'll get a good response.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, even like in some of the places, like my dad and I would go on road trips and just driving somewhere like in literally the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And people would just like, you would stop at a gas station and somebody would have gone to OU. Like people just know that name. People have such great things to say about it, regardless of where you are, which I thought was incredibly telling. But yes, that was my first memory coming to OU, and it really was the people that had sold it for me. I mean, I know that I feel like I've talked to a lot of people now, like being a senior, having this conversation a few times, like it truly is the people that make the place. I think that that's really what sold me. I am 8 hours away from home here. So I think that it was a big deal to me that I really felt at home with the people that I was with and that I really enjoyed it and that I didn't feel like I had to go home all the time. But I really love the people. Everybody that I've met has been so amazing. And I think that's something to be said about the university.
At what point did it come on your radar, the university, like Ohio?
I think my sophomore year of high school.
And then you started Googling and seeing
Where
images
is
of the
this place?
campus?
Yes. Well, I was confused, I think, in the beginning because I was like, wait, I've never heard of like Ohio University. You know what I mean? Like, it's far away from me. Like, I just had never heard of it before. I was like, Ohio State. Like, I really didn't know much about any of the schools in Ohio. So I was like, okay, I loved color green. I was like, this is perfect. Like, let's learn a little bit more about it. And, talking to the coaches. And then I was like, I absolutely want to visit. And no, the campus was absolutely beautiful. I love outdoors. I love the greenery. It's absolutely perfect. And so that was something that also really sold it for me. I know that a lot of people would say that if you ask them, but no, I didn't, like I said, I didn't know much about it in the beginning, but yeah.
You know a lot about it now.
I know a lot about it now.
That's so
I
cool.
do.
That's so cool.
Yes.
So being a student athlete, Tanaya, you were a student athlete here at Ohio. It's got its challenges. It has its ups and downs.
Yes.
When did you grasp like how to handle being a student athlete, balancing things and just absorbing what it takes to be one?
Honestly, I think that that's so cool that we get to talk like this and that you get to do this now, like being a student athlete. I think that it's almost like the unspoken, like you almost understand each other without like really knowing each other. You know what I mean? Like you just get the grind, but really starting to grasp like being a student athlete. My freshman year was hard for sure. I think everybody has their own experience, of course. I came in the middle of COVID, which was incredibly difficult. Just because coming from that visit in 2019 during homecoming, there were so many people here. You know, it was insane. And then coming in the middle of COVID, there's no one here. You know
Ghost
what I
town.
mean? Yeah, so it was ghost town. And I had graduated high school early, came here like December of 2020. And so there was nobody here. It was the middle of winter. You know, it was just like a weird transition. But I think that I finally got to grasp like being a real student athlete probably after my freshman year. I think freshman year was just a lot of adapting to a lot of different things, adapting to being away from home. I came into a really experienced and older team. Again, because of COVID with all the girls, a lot of them were a lot older than me. I came in at 17. And some of the girls were 23, 24, like, and then with COVID years added on, you know, some of them were older or whatever. But I just felt like such a baby coming in. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm, you know, away from home and learning the system. It was just learning how to balance the school. And, you know, like I said, it is a grind. So I think it did take me like a full year to really like figure it out, I think. But probably by my sophomore year, I'd say I started to get a grasp of, you know, how to handle things and how I wanted to go about things. And I felt like my head was like above water, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. What was your decision behind coming early?
So coming early, I'm probably going to talk about COVID like 110 times, honestly, because that was just such like a big
crazy time.
Yeah. So it was a crazy time. And it was such a big piece of coming in, you know, in my college experience. But COVID had happened my junior year of high school, like in that springtime. And around the time that it was happening, there was just so much uncertainty, of course, as, you know, everybody knows. And I had started talking to Coach Bob about, you know, like what coming early would look like, because there had been people in the past that have come early, and what that would kind of look like. And basically I decided that I would have to start taking some classes at the community college locally to try and speed up that process. And so I was able to do that for the summer and fall of 2020. And I also I didn't know what high school basketball was going to look like that final year. You know what I mean? Like my senior year, I didn't know what that was going to look like. I didn't know if there was going to be a season. And in a way, I didn't want it to be a waste of time. You know what I mean? Like if I could speed up the process and get here early, I would like to. So I had basically come to the decision that was, you know, the best thing for me, what I wanted to do. And so I was like, let's go for it. Like, let's do it. And so I, you know, I remember taking my final for my last class, on like I don't even know, like a Tuesday night. And my professor, I had emailed them like, you have to, you know, sorry, but you have to like grade it soon so that I can get my transcripts to here so that they know that I graduated so that I can come down. Cause I mean, it truly was a mess. Like, so Coach Bob was like, yeah, you know, you can come down here. And so I literally like took that final, got my stuff back, and was like, okay, well, we're moving down here now. So I'd come down here in December and, you know, hit the ground running. Like, let's do this. I was ready to go. And so it was truly like a crazy turnaround time. And I think that's what was such like a shock for me, because I was like flipping the switch so fast, like
kind of like this light that keeps going on.
No, literally, I know.
Apologies to everyone that is watching on YouTube.
Doing well though.
Yeah, we're crushing it. We're having a great time. But I felt like that was a good segue to just kind of address the elephant in the room, the light that goes on and off every, I don't know how many seconds. But
it's perfect.
That is a very quick adjustment that you described, going from college. Going from high school to college. It's just, there's just a lot you have, you don't know what you're getting yourself into.
I always talk about my sister, she graduated in 2022.
Mhm.
And I always give respect to those people who graduated in 2020. Because where I was my sophomore year in college, and I said, I don't know how, you're missing graduation, you're missing
It's crazy.
sports, you're missing prom, you're missing all the things that you think about
Yeah.
when you're, in 8th grade, 9th grade. But to make that decision while in the thick of things,
Mhm.
I give you respect as well, because that is a lot. You got COVID, but you're also, what is my senior year really going to look like? And you want your senior night, and you want
Yeah.
to finish your high school career, but also you want to start to hit the ground running for your college career. So
Yeah, exactly. And I think that so I graduated high school early, and then I also had I didn't have graduation in December because I had went from
Wow.
school to here. So when I had then that first semester being here, and then I had gone home and I experienced a graduation. I had went to prom. Like I was able to do those
Okay.
things still because things looked better, because I really, I guess, did graduate. That was when I was supposed to graduate in 2021. But so I was able to still do those things, which
Right.
was awesome, but it was just very unconventional. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I did that in this summer semester,
Okay.
when I was able to go home. But no, absolutely. For people that truly their graduation was right, in 2020,
Mhm.
that chunk of time where people were just absolutely not, we're not being around other people kind of thing. When I had then officially graduated, it was more of that time where it was okay, we're having gatherings, but not super whatever. We had graduation outside, which was kind of nuts. I mean, stuff like that. But I totally, what you're saying, I have a respect for them. You guys really didn't get to have your moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, no, totally.
So when you think about your career at Ohio, from the beginning to now, where do you feel like you've grown the most as a person and a student athlete?
Yeah. So I feel like when I reflect on my time here, I feel like I've grown the most in the sense of I think I have more of a voice than I did when I came here. I think that for as much as I love to talk to people and interact, I think I'm very soft spoken. I don't always approach a conversation with confrontation or with really speaking my mind sometimes, regardless of if it's gonna stir the pot or not. But I think just really having a voice and speaking up for myself, and knowing that it's okay to not be okay with something, and there's a certain way that you can go about something with kindness, and it doesn't have to be you can go about things in a kind way and a graceful way. But absolutely having a voice that goes on the basketball court, in the classroom, just in life, speaking up for something if I feel a certain way, and I think that you kind of had to do that, and being in school, you have to talk to the professors ahead of time. You have to be comfortable having these conversations. Listen, I know you might not be happy that we're going to be gone, but this is what it is. You know what I mean? So I think definitely having a voice, and yeah, just being comfortable in myself as a person, and just really being able to stand up for myself, I
That's
guess.
huge.
Yeah.
That's so big.
I
Yeah.
always say that at being an athlete creates a multifaceted person, because you're able to, converse and have conversations and speak up on telling your coach hey, I don't feel good. But you also can talk to your professor hey, I don't understand it. And then
Yes.
when you get into the workforce, you're telling someone hey, I just don't get what's going on. Can you help me?
And that's really
Yeah.
important to do, because I some people are hesitant to do that. You need to express in order to improve and get better. You need
Yeah.
to express that, which
Closed
is
mouths
hard.
don't
It's-
get fed.
That's
Yeah.
what I was just gonna say. I was gonna in my head, I was thinking of the squeaky wheel gets the oil or whatever, but that's perfect. You
Yeah.
totally hit it on the head right there.
So no,
Yeah.
but every athlete that I talk to or we talk to, and
Mhm.
you can hear that, it's one of those things is you come in as that person that doesn't talk, or
Mhm.
I'm not going to say nothing. You got experienced people
Yeah.
you're the person that people look up to listen to, and you're guiding. And then you realize wow, I'm able to talk.
Mhm.
And, it's really good.
Yeah, I think everybody has their own experiences. I think that
everyone has something, regardless of who you are, regardless of where you come from. You have something that you can provide to others. And I think it's important that you always let that voice be heard. You know what I mean? Like, I have certain things that maybe you would have never thought about just through conversation, you know, or you might have certain things that I've never thought of, but you can provide to me, and like same with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's just so important that like people are able to speak their mind and have conversation. Like, you know, there's just, you only know what you know.
Exactly.
So
Curiosity is
Yes.
a superpower.
It is.
You
It
gotta
really
have
is.
you gotta have a mindset to be curious
Yeah.
to be able to get knowledge
Yes.
of stuff that you don't know about
Mhm.
somebody or about a topic or
Absolutely.
anything. I think that's really important.
Mhm.
Big sister role.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every
Big
stuff
sis.
that you were describing.
Yes.
That
Yes.
that big sister role. You have some sisters?
I have one sister.
One sister?
One sister.
Yeah.
She
Older?
is my everything.
Older,
My
younger?
Younger sister.
Okay.
Aw.
Yes, she's my everything.
What's her name?
Sarah.
Shout out Sarah.
Shout out Sarah. She knows. Yes. I was actually talking to her about this podcast earlier. And
Nice.
I was like, I'm going to give you a shout out because I knew that it was probably going to be brought up about the big sister role.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, make sure that you say something or whatever.
Does
And,
Sarah
I
play
mean,
basketball?
No, she used to play basketball in elementary school. She is actually at University of Wisconsin studying to be a neurosurgeon.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yes.
Whoa.
Mhm. So basketball is not in the works for her, but she is doing something incredible.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud of her, and I love her so much, and
Wow.
we really are close. So whenever I talk about, you know, being that big sister role, she always just gives me a little bit of crap, like, you know, I'm your number one sister. You know what I mean? Like we're number one, and I'm like, I know, but
That
no,
you take
absolutely.
that kind of relationship that you have with your sister and it's
Replicate.
with it replicated with people here at Ohio University, your
Yes.
teammates,
Mhm.
especially like freshmen and sophomores right now, as you
Yeah.
are a senior, being able to
Yeah.
provide. I know you're super close with Bailey tabling,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
just to share one example.
Yes.
Right?
No, absolutely. And I think that really comes with how I mentioned earlier, coming in with a lot of older girls that I, you know, being that real baby coming in, and there being 24, 23-year-olds on the team. And I, like, full transparency, like, it was hard. It was really hard for me. And I just had never wanted any of the girls that were coming in to feel how I did. Like, I always want people to feel like they can come up to me to ask me a question, no matter how stupid it is. Like, if they need clarity on something, if they need to know where to go to like get a student athlete parking pass, like I always want to be there for people. Like, and that's in basketball, that's after basketball, because truly, like, the ball stops bouncing at some point, and it's so important what you take with you. Like, life is so much more than basketball. And I think that I just want all the girls that I've played with and that I am playing with to feel that way and feel like I really care about everybody that I come into contact with. Like, I want them to always feel like they can come to me to talk to me about literally anything, like regardless. And I want every time I see them, like, it's seeing like a best friend, like an old friend. Like, I want to be the best part of their day, like our interaction together, because like you could be
never
the
know.
best part of somebody's day.
By just even smiling.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Literally by just smiling and walking past somebody.
Yes.
Exactly.
Or saying, even I was even like the little things. Like today, I was walking somewhere and I noticed there was a person behind me, probably
Yes.
maybe 10, 15, 20 feet behind me. And I was like, is that far enough that I should hold the door?
Yes.
Should hold the door or
Yes.
should not? And I was like,
Yes.
you know what? This person's carrying like a couple things. I can stop and
Yes.
use that time to just hold the door open.
Exactly. I think that we live in such a society of people are always in a rush, and time is so valuable, and you'd be surprised trying to slow down and give people the time of day and really like put an emphasis on like, I have time to talk. Like, if you have something on your mind, like, I have time to talk.
Yeah.
I don't have anywhere to be. Like, let's talk about it. If it's on your mind, like, let's talk about it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And like, even hanging out with somebody, like, I think that everybody feels like, oh, they're so busy. Like, and people are
Checking
very busy.
me,
Yes, checking phones.
Me,
Like,
I check
it's
my phone
so-
too much. That's like part of my
Yes.
job is social
No.
media.
And
Yeah.
I get it. I
You
think
live in your
that
phone.
being so present and like having a conversation with somebody, not sitting on your phone, like really being there. Like it just means so much to people, and like giving them the time of day. Like we had talked about earlier, like we are humans at the end of the day. Like we, as humans, are meant to interact.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? And not be on our phones all the time. And I probably sound like such an old person, you know what I mean? But like truly, like people are made to interact, and like giving people the time of day and like just that kindness, like you'd be surprised how far that goes and how much people remember you for that. And it takes nothing. It really does. Like it takes no skill. You know, you never know like what that could do for someone. You never know what people are going through. You know?
That's the ultimate goal in life.
Exactly.
Impact. I
Impact.
love that.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about, before we get into a couple of rapid fire questions off the tracks. This is Bobcat Tracks presented by Labatt Blue. We got Kate Dennis, our third guest of the day. Happy February. This is February's episode of Bobcat Tracks. So
Love.
you're tell us like what you've been studying and your interests and what the future holds for you.
Yes. So I have been here for a while now. I got my undergraduate degree in sport management. I got 3 minors, coaching. I got a minor in coaching, community and public health, and advertising and public relations. And I also got a theme certificate. So I've gotten a lot of things, you know, with my time here, and being able to graduate undergrad in 3 years as well. So I'm very proud of that. But we're at like a weird time in the year where it's like, I can't say like this past year, but whatever.
Yeah,
but,
it is.
Currently I'm getting my MBA degree, which is my master's in business administration. You know, I always feel like I have to clarify just in case people don't know, but, I'm getting my master's in business administration right now. And this is my last year playing basketball, but next year I actually got accepted into the dual degree program here, which is the sports ed program. Thank you very much.
Very cool.
Thank you. I will be here next year, not playing basketball, but, you know, stepping into a different role. And I know I'm really excited about it. So I'm going to be doing that next year. I am incredibly excited and super grateful, but I am really excited to just step into like a different role.
Yeah.
And I'm incredibly grateful for like this journey and everything that it's taught me and the people that it's brought me and the experiences that I've had. But I think I'm really excited to step into a different area and like experience different things and maybe some of the behind the scenes that like you don't think about as a student athlete, but like as a student athlete, you can provide to somebody that, you know, doesn't have that experience.
Right.
Like they don't know, you know what I mean? Like, I think that I've always been like, sports has been such a big part of my life, for as long as I can remember. And I think that, I want to be around it, like in whatever capacity that is. And I think that that's my next step. Like, I'm excited about next year so that I can figure out a little bit more about what I want that to be.
Yes.
I think if I were to jump into the real world right now, I'd be like, hold on, like I need to have,
It's real.
Yes, I need
It's
to have
crazy.
a little bit of, you know, time to figure out like what certain things are. And so I think that next year I'll have the opportunity to experience different things and, you know,
it's your sole focus. You don't have
yes,
to
and it's my
worry
sole
about-
focus.
Yeah.
Yes, and I get to go on a trip for a weekend and like work this event or see this and like meet these people. And I think that that will be incredibly beneficial for me as opposed to just like jumping into it right now. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm excited to step into it in a little bit of a different way. But yeah, I'm looking forward to what's going to come.
I think being in that situation, well, in that same boat, I think it is not a bad idea if you have the opportunity to get a, you know, like a dual master's degree or a degree or a master's where it's like 2 years. I say go for it because you might have that 1 more year of eligibility and get that extra year where you're able to just not detach, but, you know, understand like, okay, that part of my life is over and I need to start transitioning instead of just, like you said, jumping right in and you're scared and then now you're contacting people like, I don't know what to do. All I thought about was a basketball schedule, you know?
Yes,
So-
exactly. I think that especially like with staying here and the relationships that I have, like I know a lot of people know me. And I think that those relationships can really help me like figure out what I enjoy. Cause for as long as I've known, like my identity has been basketball, and
Mhm.
I'm so much more than just that. You know what I mean? Like I have so much more to offer, and I want the people and the relationships that I have to be able to like, lead me into different areas. So I think that's going to be super helpful. Like you said, I totally like recommend it to any, student athlete if you're able to.
The idea is like, oh my gosh, more school.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's tough being a student athlete.
Yes.
And it's the time management. The advantage is though that, like you said, you have connections already with your name and who you connected with being a student athlete.
Yeah.
And also you understand time management. You understand priorities. You understand what it is to take to get to that degree. So that's not a waste of time. It's just, wow, I got free time.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's like free time for us now because it's like, oh my gosh, all the time we've been, practicing and traveling.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So
It's different. I'm just now adjusting to it.
yeah.
How are you adjusting?
Well, I just like noticed one thing is like I was just thinking about it the other day, like I can't text. I mean, I can't text coach, but I can't text him like, hey, I want to work out.
Yeah.
So it's that going into a public, I forced myself to go into a public gym instead of like calling up athletic department, like, hey, can I just get into the lifting room? Like forcing myself to do things that I know I can't get easily, and stuff like that. But making your own schedule and knowing like, I was not guilty about eating a burger from Burger King the other day. So
No, we laugh, but like that's so real, honestly.
I mean, at first I would be like, as a student athlete, I did have my fair share of burgers, but now I'm like, I'm fine.
Oh my gosh. That is so funny. And I mean, it sounds so dumb, but like even holidays too. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
I took the entire Christmas break this year.
No, that is.
I did not come back until the day of class.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Wow.
That
like
is,
I said, it's like the unspoken. Like
it is.
I just get you.
Yeah. If I could go back in time, I would be a student athlete, I think, and I would
cross country.
I would be a runner.
Cross country.
Oh yeah, I would. I played baseball growing up, and it didn't work out, and then I just found a passion for running during COVID, and I felt I was good at running, like so.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I probably would have gone back.
I can definitely see D1 cross country.
D1, what?
Yeah, I'm giving you that respect.
Yes, I have heard that you like to run a lot.
I do, but we'll see. We'll have to go back in the time machine. We'll go back in the time machine. All right, Kate. Some off the tracks questions. You ready?
Go. These are fun.
Buckle up.
Okay.
Fasten your seatbelt.
Okay.
Just ready to go.
So there we go. What is your? I'm going kind of all over the place with the order. So we'll talk music first.
Okay.
What song is on repeat right now for you?
Oh my goodness. Devil I've Been by Post Malone, and I think it's Ernest maybe. I am a massive Post Malone fan. And
so am
I don't know what it is, but I really love this song.
Did you watch the Netflix? Did you watch the Christmas game? And he was on it with Beyonce.
Yes, I did. I know
that was crazy.
Yes, I know that this was supposed to be fast. Sorry, but my family and I are going to see him in May, and I am so excited.
Well, graduation gift? Not graduation, but
kind of. Yes, I am really so excited. Like I think I might faint. I'm so happy. Yes, I got it for my sister, and I got the tickets from our parents for Christmas.
Are you about cried?
Oh my gosh, I about cried. Yeah,
I love the old Post Malone with.
I had a conversation with somebody the other day about that.
Yeah, his style has changed a little bit, which is fine. You gotta kind of tailor to different audiences. Yes. I like some of his older school. Yeah. I like 92 Explorer. 92 Explorer. That was my favorite. Yes. That was my favorite song. That dropped in 2017.
Yes, it
Dang,
did.
that's crazy. All right, we're off the tracks.
If you're watching this, make sure you get her VIP ticket.
Yes,
VIP. So is that song also your go-to karaoke song?
No, but it probably could be. I know the words so well now. I probably could sing it as a karaoke song, but honestly, any Post Malone song would be a karaoke song. Probably like older Post Malone, like we talked about. Maybe like a Congratulations or like something like that. So White Iverson, kind of.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Dinner with One Celebrity would be.
Okay. Yeah. Post Malone. Yes.
We already took that.
Yes. Yeah. I love the vibe, and he just seems like such an awesome guy. I mean, like I think that looking at him, you're probably like, okay, he's probably a little crazy, but I think that he just like his vibe is so amazing, and I love his
He's
music.
always smiling.
He's always smiling.
There we
He's
go.
just such like a happy-go-lucky person. I
Mhm.
feel like.
Yeah.
I'd love
Awesome.
that. Yeah.
Fire away another one.
First person you call when you get good news.
Oh my gosh. Probably my sister. Probably my sister. I would call her. I call her so much. She's probably like, oh my God, stop calling me.
That's like me and my sister.
Yes.
yeah.
It's just, oh my gosh.
Is it weird? Like, were you close growing up?
We've always been very close. I think that our relationship has got even closer.
Yeah.
Like
Like the separation.
How many years apart?
separation,
How many years?
2 years
2
apart.
years?
Yeah,
Mhm.
my sister and I are 16 months apart. So,
Really?
yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
It just, I don't know. There's something about it. It's just like
You
girlhood.
don't see
like,
them
Yes.
like now, and now you're like, man, I can't
I
talk to them.
know.
Go into their room and
I
bombard.
know.
I don't know if you've
yes.
seen those posts of like go into somebody's room and just like look at them and just walk out.
Yes.
I don't know where
Yeah.
that comes from, but I do that.
That's
I haven't, but
yes.
that's
You've never
interesting.
seen that?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Like I've read that and I'm like, wow, I've done that before.
Yep.
Just
I have
to
to.
go and
You're just like walking and just like, I just want to
Stand
bother you,
there
and
and
then just walk out.
walk
and
out,
don't
yeah.
say anything.
But I think it's the present, like
Yeah.
it's the present to
present.
have
a lot
the presence.
goes through your mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man.
yes.
All right. Favorite pizza topping?
Oh my gosh. I really love like a meat pizza, but I also love a ham and pineapple pizza. I know that that's very controversial.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I
we
like
all
pineapple.
agree that pineapple on pizza.
I like pineapple.
You agree too? Yes.
That's a rare
I love
3-person
that.
agreement right there.
Yes, I love that. No, that's definitely one.
That's good.
That's crazy.
Mhm.
How many unread text messages do you have on your phone?
Oh my gosh. I think my phone's over there.
You can take a guess.
That's
That's a good job by you left your phone.
Yeah.
So we
I know,
won't
yeah.
know.
no. Honestly, well, just because we've been doing this for a little while, probably a few, but it really bugs me to have
Me too.
a text message, like a red thing in the corner. So I always respond to people like as fast as I can. Like I try to be very present, but at the same time, I try to give people like a timely. You
I
know
got
what
to
mean?
the point of taking the notification off.
Really?
Like I still get the notification. I just don't see. how
No,
many
then I'd
people-
forget to respond to people. But
But
Yeah.
I remember.
That's impressive.
yeah.
That is wildly impressive.
I hate.
No,
I
but
do not like seeing that dot. So I took the notification part, but I respond quickly.
Yes, no, but probably a few just because I've been off of it for a minute, but normally none. Try to be none.
Love it.
Like I try to respond as fast as
Awesome.
possible. Yeah.
Awesome. My Instagram and like Twitter, X,
Yeah.
Facebook, I don't even get notifications.
No, me
I
Yeah.
unless I open the app.
yeah.
Like
Like,
that
yes, I
that
have
is
that.
super helpful.
Yes.
it is.
Instagram, it honestly helps to like not have stuff like bing, bing,
Yeah,
Yeah.
bing, bing
I had
all
to
the
turn
time.
that
Yeah.
off.
I can't.
I
Oh.
agree. Yeah. Yep.
So
1-on-1 versus anyone, who would you pick?
Oh my gosh.
on the court,
On the court.
on the basketball court, 1-on-1.
Honestly, it's probably super stupid, but like one of my teammates I used to play AAU with, or my sister, I think that would just be funny. Like I'm not like one of those people that's like, oh, I'd like to play LeBron or whatever. Like I think that it would just be fun to like play one of my old AAU teammates or like
Okay.
my sister. Like I think that would be super hilarious and super fun. So that's probably what I would say.
Awesome.
Probably unexpected answer, but that's what I'll give you.
All right. That's all I got. You got any more?
Favorite city you traveled to play?
To play in?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I've been to a few fun places. I think that one of my favorites, we went to Vegas for a tournament one time, which was a lot
Wow.
of fun. Incredibly hot. I'm trying to keep some of these stories short, but I remember putting Crocs in the car. We had some Crocs in the car and they
it
shrunk.
melted. Oh yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
from the
Dang.
heat. But that was an incredibly fun trip because we got to experience, of course, like everything around. And we had, I'm losing my train of thought. We had lost the air conditioning in the building. And it was,
That's brutal.
it was so hot. We had to have ice bags and put them on our heads when we would come out, like for a break. Yes, when we were stepping out.
And that's your favorite trip.
It was, yes, because it was very memorable. Like I remember that very vividly in my head. But that was probably my favorite just because like that was my first time being out to like Vegas
Oh,
area.
okay.
And just the AAU team that I had at the time was incredibly fun and they were really funny. And so I think that it was just a very something that I remember very well. So I think that's probably mine.
Nice. Okay,
Yeah.
I have one more.
Yeah.
And then
Send it off.
we'll wrap it up
Go
because
ahead.
you're busy as a student athlete.
You're good.
All right. Favorite game at Ohio University that you were a part of with the women's basketball team?
Oh man. First thing that really comes to mind was our game last year when we beat Western at home. I hit a buzzer beater in that game, which was a lot of fun. I just remember everybody being so happy and my teammates being so excited, and that there was a few seconds left, like after it had happened. It hit the three, and then there was a few seconds we had to play defense and like really like clinch the win. But I remember everybody was so excited, and I was like, we have a few more seconds, like we gotta lock in and whatever. But I just remember being so happy and excited. Like that was the first time that I'd really ever had anything like that happen, like experienced
awesome.
things, but not ever been like the person that had whatever shot and scored. So that was something that I really remember vividly.
That was a heck of a game. I thought maybe the Kent State game when y'all
Kent
beat
State was a great
y'all
game
beat
too.
Kent State, who they ended up winning the MAC championship,
they
and you
did.
beat the champs.
Yes, that was also a great
That was a
game.
heck
There's
of
a
a
lot
game.
that come to mind, but that was the first one that I thought of.
Those
yeah.
are
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love it. All right. Well, we've hit the buzzer.
Yeah.
Here. Kate, thanks so much for coming on Bobcat Tracks. Really appreciate it. And congrats on everything that you've done here at Ohio University, both on the court and off the court. It's been awesome to hear about it and watch.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for having me. I really appreciate it. This was great fun.
All right. That's a wrap. Bobcat Tracks presented by Labatt Blue. T, we had some fun today.
Great fun. I didn't catch the first two, but Kate Dennis, loved her. But I know Sam, he carried out the first two as well. So great, all great athletes.
Well, you'll go back and watch or listen to the first two.
Absolutely. And you guys should too. Right on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.
Yes, indeed. Subscribe, give us a review, and we'd love to hear who you think should be on the next episode of Bobcat Tracks every month. So March, tell us who do you want to see on Bobcat Tracks? We can't wait. Thanks for watching as always, and go Bobcats.
Go Bobcats.